Hey guys, A-Rodz RC here again. Let's hope we don't run out of memory this time or fall, but I'm going to give you a little close-up look of the outdoor course that I built. Blah. There it is, so let's get up close and personal. So I started off with the ramp for the entryway, tread tape, because it's a little bit of an incline for some of the non-axials to make it. Planning on maybe hanging a flag or something from this metal bar here, banner or some sort. That'd be pretty cool. A couple safety cones just to let people know that's the entry and exit way. You come in here, I got some loose gravel on top of a great stuff mountain. There's a big boulder underneath all of this just to kind of have a base or a foundation. Patches of moss along the wall, and great stuff. So coming down the entryway hill leads to the studded ramp that the studs are tread taped. They're not as even as it looks, so it's not as easy as you think it might be, because your truck sits at an angle going over these. Didn't really need the tread tape, but I thought it gave it a cool look, so I added it. Coming up the hill, we have the moss covered manor stone. Spray adhesive the moss there to be in place. This moss isn't the greatest, it likes to get caught up in the wheels, so you got to catch it before you get too wound up, but that's alright. The rocks are hot glued on there to stay in place. More cones for the entry and exit way of the bridge. Coming down, I got the popsicle stick rope bridge lined with some moss to give it a more realistic look. Again, cones at the entry and exit way of the bridge. I stained the rope and the popsicle sticks to give it a little more, aged look. Underneath, we got the dollar store glass rocks for the water look. I mean, you can drive through there, it's more fun than anything. Haven't really put any water in there yet, more for looks. Along with the moss against the wall back there. Coming up out of the bridge, we have two more manor stones stacked with some multicolored moss here in the corner. A little bit of a dip here with another great stuff hill. Again, at the bottom of all this great stuff is a boulder that I just kind of added onto a couple big rocks. Still need some areas spray painted, which Rust-Oleum's texture spray, textured multicolor stuff, does awesome work. I also used some Rust-Oleum hammered, black, gray, and I think brown, or aged bronze, I think is what they call it. Some orange moss to line it. This was a harder hill to get up. I added some more bumps with the great stuff. It's not as hard as it was when I first made it. Coming down this hill, we have the buried old model car, some key hiders buried in the dirt that are rocks, which are pretty cool. My stepdad brought those over to add to the course. There's a couple of old RC tires that are just damaged, kind of buried in the soil over here. As we head over to the middle part of the course, it's the biggest boulder that I have here, lined with great stuff. It's great for pictures. Moss, more great stuff. Coming over the hill, you got a couple pieces of driftwood that I buried in the dirt. Added some great stuff and some rocks to keep everything together. I also added these old yard lights of mine to give it a cool look at night. I did finally get hopefully the right connectors for my headlights. Shout out to Remote Control Hobbies in Portland, Oregon. Those guys are awesome and super knowledgeable. Don't have one complaint about them. Coming after the driftwood and boulder pile, I have a couple rocks, piece of broken manor stone buried for the entrance of the tunnel, which is also lined with great stuff, so it's not that easy to go through. You do have some crawling to do through the tunnel. Lined the top of it with brown moss. They sell the multi-colored bag of moss at Fred Meyer. The tunnel is actually just a 2-gallon bucket cut in half, sprayed adhesive the top, and spray painted it and stuck the moss on there. Coming out of the tunnel, there's another great stuff pile with some twigs and rocks, all held together by great stuff. Coming over here, there's a little rocky entranceway to another great stuff corner that isn't as crazy, but after this you go into a little pit that is kind of filled right now with loose dirt. But line that wall with more artificial moss, kind of an entryway here with the 2 big boulders to let you know that there's another little obstacle course going down. Which comes down here. It's a bit of a dip, a pit. It's full of leaves and loose rocks right now. I didn't clean it out, but in there I have it lined with some paint sticks, and through the paint sticks I added great stuff to give it a little more character and help to get out of the pit. Along the pit I lined it with rocks, purple moss, and great stuff to hold it all together once again. Once you get out of the dip, come up to another little rocky patch, and there is a little grass hill, or you can go over to the left, which is lined with orange moss on the wall, and it's a great stuff climb area to make it a little more challenging if you don't want to just go over the grass. I tried to make it optional, you know, you can go this way or that way depending on what truck you're using. Like I said, I have 5 different models right now, and I'm trying to keep them all stock except for look stuff like tires and lights. Come over the hill, and I have some oyster shells, which are awesome for mini crawler areas. Held all together by hot glue. They're awesome texture and awesome additions to any mini crawler course. They look like rocks, and you can paint them if you don't like the look, but they're sweet. So you come over here, if you make it over this hill, and there's a challenging little ramp here. See if we can try and show you the incline of it. Lined with not tread tape, but the artificial grass. Or you can go underneath here and come up this side of the rock, side of the cave that I made with a cardboard box and added great stuff around it. On the side there's loose rock and great stuff, which is a bit of an incline. If you come up this way, you get to the top of the cave. I lightly dusted it with some light brown Rust-Oleum textured coloring spray paint. So once again, you can come up that way, or you can come up the green ramp and try and make it over to the great stuff pine cone twig lined mountaintop. Left it white to maybe give it the snow look. Here's the cave. I should probably paint the inside of it and go out that way. Coming over the green ramp or through the sidewall, you come over this little hump here, which doesn't have that much traction, so you will likely slide onto the side, while I put loose gravel there to kind of prevent us from getting stuck there with the tires. And you can do whatever you want in this corner actually. It's a little slippery and smooth on the great stuff there, so I added 2 pieces of tread tape, stuck it on there, and that's almost my favorite part of the track, because of how vertical the truck gets and stays in place. So yeah, this is the track updated as of now. You know, if we want to do more eventually, I was thinking maybe build a second level on top of it, but that's a later date. This right now is just fun as can be. If you're local in the Portland or Vancouver area, give me a shout out on the YouTube channel. And maybe we can get some crawling going for the mini crawlers. It's fun, guys. And the minis are budget friendly. I had my whole family out here on Easter and they loved it. Every single one of them. Alright guys, that's the course. I hope you like it. Hope you could maybe get some ideas from it for your own course. I think I'm gonna get to crawling before dinner. So until next time, peace out from A-Rodz RC.